Short, sweet, and let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Did you
hour.
wanna
Okay,
Chuck sit up here so we can hear?
we're fine. Hermosa Town Board meeting, welcome all of you tonight, Monday, March 7th, 2023 at 6 p.m. Roll call Hendrickson,
Here.
Holsworth here, Kramer,
Here.
and Schumacher.
Yep.
Appreciate everybody being here. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Any changes, Monica, on the agenda that you're aware of?
No.
Okay. Yes, ma'am?
Could we have discussion of citizen and trustee input?
Add what now?
Discussion of the phrases for citizen and trustee input.
Well, you can have that under your trustee input, yes, ma'am. It'll be on there, so. So we'll have that and that concern. The only other thing, did we have the other? I'm just looking to make sure I had it underneath our public works, the Fairgrounds Place.
Yeah, it's under Public Works. I changed it yesterday, so it was still before 24 hours.
So that's on everybody's agenda.
Does he have one of these?
Okay,
Yeah.
motion to accept the agenda.
Okay.
Motion by Kramer, second
I'll second it.
by Schumacher. Further discussion? There being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Nay.
Motion carried. We have the consent calendar, approval of the February 27th, 2023 regular meeting minutes. If everybody's good with them, a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Kramer. Second by
second.
Schumacher. With no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Conflict of interest declaration. Does anybody have any conflict of interest on any of the items on the agenda that you're aware of?
Not that I know of.
Okay, no claims there, we'll move ahead. Claims, the review of payroll and claims. Any questions, thoughts? If not, motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to accept the claims.
Schumacher makes that motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Kramer. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. Item 6 is law enforcement abatements complaints. We have nobody here, we have no log. So really nothing to really discuss under law enforcement. Mitch, you said wasn't gonna be here.
No, you
Okay.
cannot make it tonight.
Hendrickson, you had a question?
Yeah, under committee report, they only do a monthly log, so we shouldn't expect one every 2 weeks.
It's just attendance. We would hope that there'd be them here for anything or any reports, but that's okay. Yes, ma'am.
I would like to ask the public if they've seen law enforcement and how often we're at, what times, if anybody has any info
You see them in the morning,
in the morning.
yes ma'am.
What time?
6:30, 7:30, 8:30.
Whereabouts?
That's the sheriff, in the church parking lot, I saw him out here
School.
one morning.
Okay,
So yeah, they're present.
very good. Thank you for noticing. Connie?
Yep, same church parking lot several times.
Going down Manning Street, saw him on Whitney. Seemed quite regular walking.
Well, I don't see him.
You don't see him?
I don't see him up in my area, no.
Vicki, you?
I see him.
You see him?
Yeah, I threw it there quite a bit.
Well,
Yeah,
you guys are around
I
the
see him in
school.
the church parking lot, but they always show up after school starts, and they sit there for at least 2, sometimes 3 hours. They're not there early enough for when school starts.
Well, thank you for letting us know that. That's the things we need to know when we're paying $80,000 for law
Exactly.
enforcement. We need to know when they're here and if they're here when they need to be. So thank you for looking. I asked last time you weren't here. It would be very helpful if you would, if you'd think about it, if you'd kind of keep a log of it. The times you see them and the days that you see them, and turn it into the town office, and that way we have something to work with when we speak with them.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice if they sit up there closer to the crosswalk and watch that, because they don't have anybody watching the crosswalk anymore.
Well, thank you. Anybody else? No? Okay. Thank you for letting me do that.
Okay, legal, the permit for 194 Fairgrounds is pending, of course. B, the tax certificate for lot 2615 is an FYI. So we'll just have that on that circumstance there. Mitch also had went through on the school board letter, which all of you have in your packet, revised, and then there was, like Monica expressed, combination between ACES and Mitch that put it together, and so we just need your approval that you're okay with it to be sent off. And Hendrickson made a couple typo errors in it, and change that
Right.
Monica has, and so,
Okay.
everybody okay with it?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am,
What are we talking about? Letter to the school board?
correct. We've, over the last several months, been discussing, or years, the water circumstance and drainage on Whitney Street, and what occurred similarly a little bit behind your house there for a while and all of that, so what we have done is composed, after our monitoring, a letter of interest to them that they requested at the last school board meeting of what we may want to be asking them to help to solve the problem. And so we've compiled that and asking them to work jointly with us to stop the water from going over onto Nichols' property over that and create a different situation on that situation, so.
Yeah, because I noticed the water's clear over there in the corner where that big billboard is.
Yep, usually always is, always was before too.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's what the letter is concerning, is that, and asking their cooperation.
okay.
And once it's approved, then it'll be public notice if anybody cares to review it or see it, so. Okay, thank you. So we'll go ahead and motion to approve to send that to the school board.
I'll make the motion.
Schumacher makes that motion, second by Hendrickson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is engineer, WRT. We're awaiting the final portion of the system. I'm pretty excited about what they're gonna come back with on that, so we're real close on that portion of it. You have a question, ma'am?
Did we skip over an item? After the Whitney Street?
Pardon?
The tax,
I said that was an FYI for the attorney
oh, okay, sorry.
and board members. Item 8, under, once again, engineering. Item B, Hermosa sidewalk project, of course, is pending spring and bid letting. C, sewer project resume design and expansion. There was a letter in your packet of some additional items that they wanted included for language, basically is what it boiled out to. before bid package goes out, so they want them included. They also included, of course, our agreement that we had when we were gonna go with our timeline, construction timeline, finish timeline, all of that, which, you know, we have till the end of March for the compliance on that part of it, which they're working on that part of it as we speak. The water sewer facilities plans, resolution review, DNR award, that's all hinged, once again, on our annexation. Also, the item E, Black Hills Council of Local Governments is hinged on that. Item F is the Town of Hermosa Water and Sewer Extension Project. We're also had a meeting on that, Thursday, and discussed that. I know the Prestons are here also, and I think you had questions on that topic.
Well, just we need an update to see, can you?
So what we did is, in the last submittal that we did to them was basically they're in concern of the insulation, that with, the pipe is completely embedded in insulation right now, and then concrete sealed for that 200 foot from that drainage area there. So they wanted to be reassured that that frost would not be a barrier situation on that pipe, even though we have showed that it's, their expectations are R18 value, we're at an R24 value, but they don't feel that that's still adequate, so they want 2-inch foam put over the top of it, which basically 4x8 sheets to adequately insulate the rest of that pipe for 200 feet.
So you just put
And-
that over and then bury it?
Yep.
So,
So we're resubmitting that portion of it on that aspect of it, and then also then the watertight manhole lids, we submitted that. They seemed to think they were not watertight on the inserts that were provided, but they are, as we went through the meeting, per industry standard, well equipped and well above that standard. So we questioned that one. I think that's going to be probably the easiest acceptable one. So we're resubmitting that plan. We are time of essence, you know, we want to get this thing done.
Sure, so what's your estimation on that then?
We're hoping in 30 days to have the approval. So we just have to do another resubmittal. If they take their full 30-day review, then it'll be 30 days. If it comes sooner, because we're also working with the Attorney General on this, so I should say Deputy Attorney General. So she's also very involved, very much positive towards the goals of getting this achieved. So the water, of course, has already been accepted. So all we have to do is finalize this 200 feet of sewer line, and we're done.
Okay, so that seems pretty straightforward. Is it appropriate to get a little bit more information on the water at this time, or the water situation?
As far as what,
Well, as far as being able to supply more water.
and that's something where with Mr. Haig, I don't know if he's brought you up to speed anymore on that, with your discussion of the TIF and a booster, and in them circumstances. That was our last discussion we had with him on that situation, and possibly an involvement of the TIF on
Right,
that.
but what's the plan B if there's no involvement in the TIF? What,
We will know more when we find out from our WRT final costs. We also have a plan B there. So we have still monies from our DA and R award that we have not released yet, that can be used for project funding. So we're looking at both. We have a quote on the booster now and a vault of $250,000, so it's half the price of what we originally thought. So that's a good thing. That's a 6-inch booster. So that would equip to be able to do all of Hermosa Hills and the town. I mean, it's designed for the whole community. So that would bring us into a positioning on for fire flows and everything that we need for requirements, so.
So is that something that might, what's the time frame on that?
Within 30 days also. We're going to know the WRT, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff in here that's all mixed together. And so the sorting out is coming together slowly but surely. I mean, the win-win on the WRT is that we got the funding from Custer County on the $500,000. So that's not grant, that's not loan, that's money that was ARPA money. So that's a real win-win for us and the citizens. So we're very appreciative of that part of it. And so once we have that, we had the Colorado company that does this WRT system for the radon removal actually had 5 gallons of water that was taken to them to test to finalize the size of the system. So we don't want to say any more than that because it was pretty exciting on some of the information. So it could be a real win-win on that side of it too, for the funding side of it. So it's all good news. It's all positive. And I like that part of it. It's been a long journey and we're looking for a very good outlook on everything. So
We will know a lot within 30 days.
Okay, thank you.
yes, ma'am.
What about the DANR fine for that line? And then it said we could not use that?
Pardon?
They said we could not use that
Not
sewer
as
line?
it sits.
That's all.
So we are working with them to see what they will approve, what changes they will approve.
So we still have that fine over our heads?
No fine. It's just the approval of the line. And that's what I referenced in the insulation of that 200 feet of pipe. That's the only thing that they're in question on. That and 2 manhole covers that they want watertight covers on.
I thought that pipe that went through the flood zone out there in the Shorbs pasture out there was not deep enough or was not installed properly, so.
No,
I
it
don't
was
know how
installed
putting something
properly.
over the top of it could fix that, you know?
Nope, we're all in the middle of that. That's what our Thursday meeting was all about. So, you had a question?
I was just wondering how that gets paid to get fixed.
Who pays for it?
Engineer,
She will pay for that out of the contract.
it's part of her project. Correct.
Citizens aren't paying for any more money
No.
out there. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to know when I can get together with somebody and find out what the status actually is and what has been done, because I'm totally in the dark on what you guys have done with this water and sewer.
Yeah, I missed several meetings here that
I
we
am
discussed
aware of
it.
that, Dan.
So, yeah, just ask, come up. We're more than happy to give you the answers.
I would like to see you be a little more cordial to board members that can't make it to the meetings. Can't you put out a packet with everything that was discussed and what's gonna be this and that and whatever, so they're not sitting in the dark?
It is.
But she didn't get one, did she?
No, it's in the discussion also on the tapes of the meeting that have that discussion. So, but it's all, you know, all you have to do is ask. More than happy to give you all that information, always have been.
Yeah, that's been free flowing, absolutely.
Okay, any other
So could there
questions?
be another meeting of the board perhaps, and the citizens to know exactly where this stands with the attorneys?
On the what now?
This, what we are doing here, because, I mean, the state told us no 5 times and now we're proceeding again, and I'd like to know how much the cost has been for Mr. Haig, who is not a cheap man to hire, and where we stand with that, because ultimately when we're all said and done, is the lawyer fee gonna be higher than the repair would have been?
We'll know all the answers to that soon. And that's not a liability to our citizens.
Well, then we should know before you make a decision or whatever. We should,
It's all open meeting, and it's all discussed in the meeting. Everything about it, every step of the way has been discussed openly in a meeting. Every single bit of it. So,
It's been an ongoing thing that we have, yes, we have gotten the letters that have denied it. But each time we've gotten a letter, we have sent letters in, or the engineer has done work, and we've asked questions of how we can get this fixed, that there must be a way to fix it, rather than to rip it all out. And they have been working with us, and we have been working with them, trying to get this figured out with the state so that it is approved by the state. And we are, it appears right now as though it is the insulation over the 2-inch pink insulation, to be quite correct, over the top of it. And supposedly that will be the fix for that pipe. But we haven't got the total yes yet. And we're waiting for that, so it's
Modification of plans.
modifications of the pipe, yes, so. They have, they have read all of our information, and the information that we have from the way it was installed, is actually better than what they thought it was. And it's a new system in comparison to what they're used to. And so it's been hard. They've had to do more research and stuff also. I think it's all gonna work out. Kind of sounds like when we had our meeting on Thursday or Friday or whatever day that was with the attorney. Thursday, with the attorney, there were 7 or 8 people on a Zoom call for that meeting, including the Assistant Attorney General, the DANR representative, our engineers, our floodplain administrator, the attorney. Dan and I and Monica made it to the meeting. There was another gentleman from
Livestock Exchange
Livestock
Board.
Exchange Board, and
That was it.
that was it, okay. In the Zoom meeting, and it was discussed with all of us, and we all went over the hopeful fixes of this. We all want it. They want it done. DANR wants it done also, and you know, they've gotten a lot of letters from us and from our attorneys, and they want it fixed also. So hopefully, we'll, like I said, within 30 days we'll know a lot. So.
Thank you. Hendrickson?
Who was the floodplain administrator?
Clayco.
Is he certified again?
Sure, it don't matter. You don't have to be an engineer to be a floodplain administrator.
I thought he was the floodplain engineer.
Floodplain administrator.
I've never heard
That's
him
his-
called the floodplain administrator.
That's what he
He was
was.
always the floodplain.
His oath was.
Oh, I
If
see.
you look back at that,
I see.
He
Okay.
had his, when his paperwork came through, most of it, he was legal at that time. And
still
so,
is.
and still is, so.
There's a lot of just, never mind.
It all moves fast, and, you've missed enough meetings and
So that goes back to if we could Zoom or we could call in when we are ill, then we would have the information and be able to attend the meetings.
that
However,
Thank you.
was not.
Any further
my
questions?
time.
I know.
Yes, ma'am, sir.
That Zoom call, was there any action items for the town from that Zoom call?
No. No, everything is just in pending and
In
resubmittal.
discussion and in submittal.
Okay, item G is the Hermosa Hills drainage. We had a meeting set up on that, and of course, Mother Nature kind of changed all of that positioning. So we'll wait and see when Mother Nature will allow us to meet back down there again. And once again, I think we're gonna have a positive outlook on that portion of it also.
Can you give us an idea what it's about?
Pardon?
I don't,
Can
what's
you
it about?
elaborate on
Yeah, we don't know what
where
it
it
is.
is? What's the concern?
Well, it was more at one point when we did the core drilling that the depths of the original plat were not at what we had agreed upon. But when we re-looked at everything, rather than raising manhole lids, covers, and the expense of what it would be and versus what the conditions of the road have held up and where the shoulders are, we thought it was probably adequate to maybe just build the crown a couple more inches, feather down, and then make that adequate coming through it, rather than raising all the manholes and going another level higher. So we felt
Sounds
that
fair.
would be adequate.
That sounds good, Dan, I appreciate that.
Pardon?
That sounds good, I appreciate it.
Yep, and then as far as culverts, they look good in our inspection when we went through them. When we looked at what Mr. Poulos had done on the ditches, getting establishment, all of that, he had, my hat was off that on the hard work that he put towards that. I think our biggest contention down there is getting the people to keep the grass growing, you know, or using a more drought resistant grass that doesn't require as much moisture, you know, which goes to a higher seed cost if you go to like a buffalo grass that is just like what we have in all our boulevards. Drought resistant grass, it does very well in hot, dry conditions. So that may be the only other alternative that we can look at.
Is there a need for an on-site meeting?
I would think it'd be more comfortable to walk through everything and make sure what we're on as far as the crown, the edges of what we were looking at for the grading portion of it. We looked at two of the properties there that Mr. Poulos and us walked through, that if we overextend the gravel, it will actually cause hardship to the homeowner. We don't want to go there, you know, so that was another decision that we all looked at, and common sense view of that portion of it. So that's why we thought, you know,
Okay, that's
going
fine.
through it. And then we had mentioned the mag water down there. Originally it was soybean oil, but of course we haven't used soybean oil in several years, and so we went back to the mag water, and which that's been doing a good job too. So once a person were to get the gravel established and mag water it, I think it will be a good circumstance all the way around.
Dan, will that be everything that's required then for the city to take that over?
That's where we left it at last that we had talked about it, and that's why the walkthrough I think will be good. And
Necessary.
then bring all our notes together, and then all members that can make it to come down and do that. Then we've got everything black and white. Yes, ma'am.
Are you available next week, John? It looks like the weather's gonna be good.
Yes.
Any day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Well, we need to see how much snow we're gonna get. If we get a foot of snow, it's
We're
not
gonna be
gonna be
gone.
burned off yet to be able to really look. So it may take a couple weeks, just depending on
Sometime
the
I'll
weather.
be leaving town again, but,
Should be here.
Should
We'll just watch it, and we can call you, since you're in town and readily available. If it happens where it burns quicker, faster, and Linda's exactly right, we can give you a jingle and say, hey, can we do it?
sure.
And we'll work it in with Ace's schedule too. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
H is Whitney Street drainage, which we had just talked about the school letter and everything that we worked on that, so that's on there for that purpose. Item I was the Roy's Drive-In sewer line, pending Roy's response. We talked about that with Mitch. Mitch is supposed to get with Aces, present the letter, and then get back to us on that. If that's something also, Hendrickson, that you would need maybe an update on, basically let me know, and we can fill you in on the blanks on that one too.
Okay.
But the facility plan for the booster water meters, possibly add to the USDA, of course, is pending on the annexation also. That all goes with our DA&R award, as well as item K, the rural development application is also pending, all onto that base. So we'll know more about that, and that's why I say every single bit of this is all kind of one big web. So once we have an answer on the WRT, then everything else is a trickle-down effect, and then the annexation is huge on that part.
We should be in, by all rights, in a lot of construction this summer with the WRT and the sewer lagoon and, possibly hopefully the sewer itself, the sewer line itself, and that won't take long, so.
Okay. Item 9 is planning and zoning. We have the review of the P and Z minutes, which you have in your packet. Appreciate Joan being here tonight.
Thank you, guys.
See you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later. Item B is the permit 2022-25, reveals digging right-of-way sewers connection parcels. That was all a pending circumstance. Item C was a review of the commercial residential building permit application. Add information regarding drainage.
Did we review the minutes, Wednesday minutes? Right here.
Pardon?
Oh.
Was there any question on them?
No.
Okay.
And the change that they had on that 9C, P and Z had was drainage on property must not affect neighboring lots and/or town right-of-way. And that they thought would be an adequate adjustment to that. And I think the only thing we discussed, as far as most drainages are gonna go to the town right-of-way, but this gives a more distinct direction that they have to prove and show where it's going to affect that town right away. So I think that brings it to a better level. So if the board thinks that's sufficient, then I'd like a motion to approve to have that
I'll
change.
make that motion.
Kramer makes that. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Schumacher. Appreciate all the hard work of P and Z
Yeah,
and
thank you,
putting all
Joan.
this stuff together. You guys have done a great job.
Joe did most of that.
Okay. I'll thank her tomorrow.
Okay.
That's the kudos that go there. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item D was to establish the new address for the parcel 009336. And that was a Custer County thing. P and Z looked at it, they thought it was okay to go with the 221 3rd. Does everybody think likewise?
That's fine.
I'm okay with it.
Okay, motion to approve
I'll make that motion.
by Kramer, second.
Second.
Schumacher. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item we had on P and Z then was E, the plat application of 2023-05 for parcel 000253, preliminary and final. And that was the John and Catherine Allen. That was going to be directed for Black Hills Electric Co-op. And then the Mylar was brought in, so it's
That's
here
good too.
presently, which was conditioned also by P and Z on that. And motion was to accept it per staff report and move forward from there on both preliminary and final plat. Motion to approve.
Make that.
Hendrickson makes the motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Schumacher. Further discussion? There being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next permit was the item F 2023-06 commercial remodeling permit application, 250 Main Street, storage lot. And then you had in your minutes of P and Z, that in their discussion of that they had made a motion to approve, required the load limit, 15,000 be posted. Ferguson will be to perform the final inspection when all complete. There was motion and carried for that. And then, also then the 15004 ordinance states any remodel or renovation be inspected by the town appointed building inspector. Preliminary inspection from Ferguson required installation of fire extinguisher, smoke detector, and carbon monoxide detector. All items have been installed and a receipt and invoice for expenses is submitted at the meeting. Westergaard also presented invoice for the fix the non-working restroom. So the board at that time also agreed that it should be reimbursed for both the smoke detectors, fire extinguisher, and miscellaneous plumbing, and that needed to be done for $402.78. They made a motion to approve that and seconded it also. So then there's two separate items there in that portion of it, and then Westergaard had also brought in a receipt for what the amount of materials were that he had done on the loft itself, and asked if there would be any consideration for any reimbursement on that portion of it. And of course, P&Z had said that's not their department, and accepted the application on it and left it at that. My only comment that night was in the aspect that Mr. Westergaard had asked to be able to do the loft, but that there would be no cost to the town. So I said, in my opinion, that if Mr. Westergaard or the board at some time, let's say down the road, that he no longer was going to occupy the building, wanted to take the loft with him, that would be an option. Otherwise, in the lease agreement, it says the loft would stay, anything that's permanently attached. So that was my only comment on the whole circumstance of that part of it. So there's a 3-port system here. Actually, one is just discussion. The other parts of it are just what we have for the application and what we have on that portion of it. Hendrickson?
Who was the plumber? Shouldn't it be a licensed plumber if it's doing a municipal building? And where are all the permits that were supposed to be in ahead of the build? And why was it not brought to the board? And in the lease, it states that he was to write a letter of intent to the board to have it approved prior to the build. There's a lot of things missing here that have been done ass backwards. And I think it's not that big a deal, Dan. That need to be rectified before anything else goes on, and I don't believe you can spend citizens' money to reimburse for something that was not approved by the board, for one, in a municipal building. I'm wondering on the insurance for that building, is it insured as a commercial building? Is it insured with a renter's insurance? Is it insured for a company? What is it insured as?
Did you come up and look for the application?
Yes, I did.
And the insurance is there?
The insurance is there, but it's listed to Four Winds Detectives. So is Brad insuring it? Is his detective agency insuring it? Is it a commercial building being used for a business?
Which the renter portion of it is in our application, as long as has proof of insurance to match our insurance, as well as we have insurance through our company also. Just like any landlord or circumstance that we would have, as long as they have their insurance and covered and has full liability coverages.
I was going to ask Mitch to review the insurance coverage, because if it's insured as the company, that's different than being insured as the individual renter. The other part of it is, has anybody, no offense to Chuck, and far be it from me, you are the one that deemed him incapable one night, and it's in some recording of not being able to perform a commercial inspection.
Guess I'm not aware of any of that.
Well, you need to go back and you need to listen, because you did do that.
But that's beyond where we're at, and
Well,
that's
the
not
other
the
part of it-
discussion that we're involved in, so.
Well, the part of it is, there are some things that need to be checked, there are things that need to be, I don't understand the process here lately. It has become build it, permit it, and then go to the board and get it approved. So if that's the case, when Chuck gets ready to do his building, can he just go now and build it and come in later and get his permits and then come to the board and get it approved because it was discussed, but there were no motions made and no vote? The process is backwards.
Process has been corrected.
Pardon me?
Process has been corrected.
How could it be corrected when it's a year past due?
Harris?
Okay, I think we need to address your questions one at a time. And you went through so many, I'm not even sure what the first one was. But, number one, I don't think that we've become a planning department where everybody just builds first and comes later. However, I do know for a fact that over the course of years, there has been misunderstandings. There has been projects started, especially interior projects, because of misinformation or miscommunication, or people just didn't realize. So we tried to adjust for that and fix that. He willingly, without a stop work order needed, stopped his work, and we went from there. He filled out his applications, he came to P&Z, we looked them over, and you can read in the minutes what we did or did not approve. The other thing, as far as plumbing goes, do you know for a fact what was fixed in the plumbing?
He just said.
No, he said plumbing, he didn't say what, bathroom, he didn't say what.
No, I don't,
Okay?
because that should have been
So then very
listed.
likely could be just no different than a restaurant with a leaky faucet, having to replace a pipe. I mean, those are not things that a plumber needs to have inspected.
In a commercial building that you're renting, I would have to wonder.
Do you think that
It's
if the
municipal.
restaurant down here had a leak?
It's not a municipal building.
Well, are we talking commercial, municipal, or government? You said.
I don't
that
know,
your-
that, your
wait,
daughter
wait,
is
wait,
the one who
wait.
brought all that up.
Harris has the floor right now,
Oh,
please.
that, yeah, okay,
Please.
sure.
Anyway, I just want to try to address as many of your questions as I can, because we did discuss an awful lot of this at our meeting. And the other thing that I do want to mention, because I was at the meeting, it was a planning and zoning meeting where it first came up, when we were discussing the plans for the school. They had all their permitting here. Chuck was sitting about where he is now, and I asked him, as he was sitting right up front, if he would be the building inspector on the project. And he said no, that was going to be a huge project. It was not something he cared to do. I don't believe he ever told me he couldn't. He said it's going to be a full-time job, basically, and it was more than he wanted to do, and that we really should find a commercial inspector for that one, which is what the board did. Now, no one ever said he was unqualified. However, inspecting a lot, look at your diagrams and read your plans. I mean, I don't think that was above his capabilities whatsoever. He's worked for this town for what, 30 years?
46.
Mr. Westergaard?
Can I expound on a couple things?
Please.
The insurance, now we're going back like 3 years ago when I started renting that building, okay? At the time, the city required $1 million insurance policy on the building. The only way to get that was to take that detective business I had, it's DBA, okay? So it covers me and that business. It's me doing it as that. Was to have that incorporated in to get the policy. Now, it covers none of my personal belongings. So the $1,400 a year I pay for insurance only covers the city's building, period. Okay, so that's what that's been for insurance.
Okay.
And that's all been, 3 years ago this was started. And it was approved at that time. So I don't understand going back now.
Right.
You know, it's still legal, it's still worthwhile, the building is covered no matter what. You stand to lose nothing if it burns down.
It was a question.
Okay, and
As to
then
why it was
beyond
written
that,
the way it was written.
Well, I have the opportunity to correct misunderstandings here. The plumbing, the lines are PVC, PEX pipe, I believe it's a plastic pipe, they were broke. The meter was broken, unhooked.
I'm with you.
Okay. There was no water heater in there. So I purchased a small water heater, fixed the lines, hooked everything back up. That's the way that went. And did not honestly think about bringing it to the attention of here. I thought I would absorb that. But when we get to this stuff, then it's brought to my attention that really should have been the city to take care of it. So that's why now I'm proceeding with that. And I agree, it probably is the city's responsibility. There should have been running water in the bathroom when I leased the building.
Should have been.
So all we did was fix it. It was a small fix, like Joan said, like a water faucet kind of a deal, you know, little piece of pipe here and there, a couple fittings. The parts are listed right on.
I know that.
There's not very much of them or very much to it. And that was to get hot water and water to use the toilet and the sink
Well,
in there. So, and as far as the loft goes, there's question, need to clear up of what it's gonna be used for. And it's not big enough to live in, nor would I. I have a house. It's to put things off the floor that are personal belongings, so I get more floor space down below. That's all it's for. It's very, at 15,000 pounds, we're underrating it. If you look up the UBC code, figure it out, it's like 30,000 pounds that says that deck should accommodate. So we're cut it in half, be more than safe that way for anybody that comes in there. So I hope that clears a little bit of the misunderstandings up. There's nothing, and at the time when I sat in here and said, asked for the approval again or said I was doing it, we were just starting the deck. It said in somebody's writing that it was done, and then I asked for approval. We were just starting it. It's still not done, because like Joan said, we'd stopped on it when this came about. So I don't see what on my end, with the approval I had from the board, that I have violated or undercut or underdone. And if it was miscommunication or not understanding policy on the other end, then why do I pay the price, so to speak? Because if it's inspected, it's more than up to code. Because I looked up the codes for the span of the lumber, distance apart, all that stuff. And we're good. And it's available to anybody to look it up. So
Thank you.
I just hope that.
Hendrickson?
in your lease, it says under item 1X, the landlord accepts the building with the fit-ups for the tenant that includes improvements to be made as described below. There are none.
This was in the beginning, now you're saying? It says that in
This
the lease?
was in for last year, when you started this. And then it says also here that you need written approval of the landlord. We never had that.
I guess not. I went by what the board told me in person.
Was it in a motion and was it voted on?
I don't know, were you here?
I don't remember it ever being in a motion
Okay.
and or voted
Okay,
on,
I don't
so
remember
therefore,
exactly either.
my understanding is if it's not in a motion and it's not voted on, it doesn't matter.
Well,
Well,
let's
well,
back
Just
up to a
general
whole lot of
discussion.
things, You know,
You know.
where do we stop?
Well, where do we start?
It's gotta go forward
It
the
has
right
to
way,
go where,
yes.
the process has to go
Okay, and if we
where
decide
it,
to do that
excuse
now,
me,
do
my
we
turn,
back up
my
and start-
turn,
Let's
my
bring
turn.
it back
Okay.
to order
All
here.
right.
I am.
Understand.
I was discussing with Mr. West about it, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It was your time on the floor, ma'am.
Yes,
And that's what we discussed when we were at P and Z, all these items of discussion.
I
So,
was still discussing.
thank you.
My whole point was, you're supposed to write the letter to the board, you're supposed to permit it, you're supposed to get board approval, motions, etc., and then you are supposed to build it. That's what the process was designed to be. If you're not going to follow it, throw it out, because you're not following it. It's exception to this one, exception to that one. There's variance here and a variance there, and then the next time it's, well, I can't do that for you because it needs to stay consistent. Do it right and there aren't any questions.
Thank you. George?
and that's what I say too. I mean, that is our building over there. And so if we all have to comply by applying for stuff before we do anything, then that should happen on our building over here too, so that we can improve what's going on. Just because you rent something doesn't mean you can go ahead and do what you want to with it.
Thank you.
And I hate to see you vote on this stuff, Dan, because you have a conflict of interest here.
How is that?
Isn't he a renter of yours? He rents from you?
May I speak on that?
Yes.
I brought this up quite some time ago because it came out here in the meeting, people think that. And I brought it up, it's probably in the minutes from maybe a year ago, in front of everybody. And I said, because I rent from you, Dan, does not mean you own me or I'm obligated to you. I rent property from him, okay? It's not like there's anything, I really dislike that thought, you know? There's times I go against Dan on things when we're talking. I'm not obligated to be his buddy, or like people say his militia, that kind of stuff. That does not exist. That's things people fabricate and add to, and our town is bad at that. It really is. There's a lot of things that go around that are not truths, okay?
And so if he would just not vote on this stuff where it concerns where there is a conflict, it is a conflict, then, you know, people wouldn't be talking about
Then
it.
he wouldn't be able to do much because he's involved in so
Don't
much.
you be sitting back there and
Excuse
shaking
me,
your head.
excuse
You know
me.
what?
Please.
Excuse me a minute. Let me.
Is she sitting over there in the parking lot? Maybe we should call her. This is kind of getting crazy.
No, I'm just gonna stand here because I know there's signals that come from this back corner back here and faces and stuff,
I
you know.
was talking,
Please,
can I
please,
continue
please.
with
This
what
is
I was,
when-
what I was on?
This
Okay.
is went far enough now
Yeah.
where, Mr. Ferguson, you had a question?
Yes, there's going to be a final inspection, and there will be a determination at that time. As far as the bathroom is concerned, it was an existing facility that was in there when the county had it, and the winterizing of that was done too late.
Margie, please. We're all trying to hear what Chuck is saying.
So, there were some repairs made there. As far as the bathroom, it was an existing facility, and some of that stuff froze and broke, so it had to be repaired. The spanning of the decking part of it was done with 2x8s, and anybody that knows the code knows you cannot span 15 to 16 feet with a 2x8. So my recommendation was to put another support system in the center of it to get that in compliance. When you go 15 to 16 feet, you have to use 2x12s or engineered beams, TGIs, something of that nature to span that much. We don't know if he's going to put engine blocks or horse feathers or what he's going to put up there for weight. 15,000 pounds is ridiculous. That's 7 ton. I wouldn't park my little pickup on top of that, I can tell you that. So I question the loading. However, if it's mainly for storage and stuff that's in totes, but that doesn't mean you can't use a forklift and put heavier stuff up there. There's going to be a final inspection, and I had recommendations when I looked at it. I've been there 2 times already. The third and final inspection will determine whether it's in compliance or not.
Thank you. So what we'll do is we'll move, one more, Mr. Westergaard, and then,
Chuck is right on the spanning. So when we get to go back on it, Wayland is gonna, we looked up what to do to add more structure to it, then to make it comply. That's already planned. Chuck doesn't, I don't think we've talked to Chuck about it yet. That'll be done before he inspects it. As far as the weight limit goes, I have no problem dropping it down. I won't put much up there. If we want to put it at 7,000 pounds, I don't care. I don't think I'll ever have 7,000 pounds of anything up there, honestly. You know, and the bathroom, if it's going to be this kind of a ridiculous thing, then you can just forget it. I'll just eat it. I don't think it's fair. I think if I rent a house, the bathroom works in it when I move in, you know, and whoever the landlord is, I would think would ensure that before a tenant moves into it. Okay, that's my thought. But if this is going to be a problem, we'll just wipe that out, because that was back farther. The extinguishers and everything was a new deal, and they were not in there before. So I think that should be covered, because I don't see the last person that was in there that had anything. And as far as not complying or doing things right, how far back do we go? Sure, there have been mistakes made from day one here. How far back do we go and say, well, you built your house 3 years ago and we just realized this or this, so we're gonna have to do something different. I mean, going forward is one thing. Going backward, if what's been done turns out to be good, then what's the issue, I guess, is what I'm getting at. And it's dragging on, so,
Thank you.
okay.
Hendrickson, we have a final comment?
Yeah, when looking at the contractor's license application, I don't know quite how to take this, but in bold print, it says proof of insurance, license, workman's comp insurance, and commercial plates must be on file. To the best of my knowledge, the only thing that is on file is a liability insurance certificate. Types of licenses held by the contractor and license number, there is nothing. There's no South Dakota tax ID, and it was filled out on the 16th of January of this year when construction started last year. So there's something wrong in the process, and we need to fix it because then we don't have this.
It did start last year.
Well, it started after the
Number one,
first,
I don't
before
believe
the
that
first of the
construction
year.
on that loft started last year. I mean, this is March already. But number two, Wayland is over there doing it for him for free and was told even at that he needed a contractor's license. So I think that's why he came in and gave what he had. But if he's not charging, he's not a contractor in my opinion, so.
And I thought Mitch deemed or stated that we didn't, government buildings and stuff, need all of these permits and stuff to do this in the government building here for the city. I thought that was in the papers earlier too, so I guess I'm kind of confused now.
Well, what we're basically, with their approval, you know, with the board itself, we've got to wait for the final inspection for our final approval. He has to finish the work before the final inspection can be done. So, you know, there's other questions that Hendrickson had on application and, you know, the insurance, Mitch had looked at when we did the original lease. Mitch reviewed everything that we had when we went through it and was comfortable with everything that we did when we were in that portion of it. I think in our other base on this portion of it then is a matter of waiting for Chuck to do the final inspection and commercial remodel side of it can be finalized. As far as the motion on reimbursement, as what P&Z done, we could act on that if you choose, or if you want to wait and...
Pending. Everything should be pending.
So individualize each item. Well, Mr. Ferguson needs to inspect the smoke detectors, the fire extinguisher, and make sure that's all installed is what he requested too. So that'll all be in that portion. Then the reimbursement can be discussed then.
Right.
And then third item, I already expressed my opinion on that one, and that wasn't anything brought up by P&Z. So that portion was brought just for more of the attention and more of where we're at and cost of the project. So do I have a motion that this will be pending until final inspection and that Mr. Westergaard will need to finish it so that it can be inspected?
I will make that motion.
Schumacher makes the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Kramer. Further discussion? Anything else that you wanted added to that? Yes.
Just as a matter of discussion, I believe that Vicky's concern about our process needs to be discussed and handled and gone over in a work session. And I think that there's nothing wrong with going through ordinances and permitting and getting everything looked at and making sure that everything's on the same page. So I would like to suggest that we do that at a up and coming work session.
Okay, and Joan, you had your hand up?
No, you've clarified my question already, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir?
I'm just curious if there are other properties that the town rents out of.
No.
How is it that the town
No.
is in the business of renting out property?
No.
Can I answer that?
Would if you care to, gently.
Yeah, gently. The building came up for sale, and honestly, before it came up for sale, we felt it was something the town should own, because it's right in our parking lot. And we felt at that time, of course, we had our own law enforcement vehicles and so on and so forth, and we just thought in the future that it would be a piece of property that the town should own. And so we purchased it from the county. The county used to use it as their shop building for their plows and maintenance vehicles for this end of the county. And then they built a new one south of here, whatever that is, 5 miles, whatever. And we obviously, as a town, we don't own any equipment yet, so we didn't need it. So to help our budget, we opted to rent it.
Got it.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion and a second that the item as far as the commercial remodeling permit will be pending until inspection by Mr. Ferguson, and then likewise on reimbursement. Both of them will be on agenda for the reimbursement total as well as the inspection report, and we'll act on it next meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Aye. As far as a nay then, or is that an aye?
It's an aye.
An aye, okay. All ayes, thank you. Motion carried. Next item was H of the 2023-07 zoning application, parcel 9322 residential to commercial. That was also brought forward, posted, public hearing, I believe, is the 14th on that property.
Yes,
At 6.
14th is with the P&Z, and then 21st is with BOT.
Oh, yep, I'm sorry.
BOT, or on the 21st.
I skipped over G too. That informational permit for 198 Fairgrounds Place Road to construct a fence for Wyona. And P&Z backed it up with the motion, even though on an informational permit is not needed. But they did. And so what she's doing is constructing the fence and meeting all the applications on it, so.
So I would just like to thank her for the informational permit.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you for going back, I appreciate
Oh,
it.
yes, thanks for catching that. Then permit 2023-04 plat application parcel number 000202 is the final. And that's at Lane and Susan Austenson, Stanimore Negebauer. And that was also approved per staff report by P&Z.
I'll make the motion to approve that first staff report.
Kramer makes the motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Schumacher. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. So we'll be able to remove C, D, E, G, and I.
I'll make that motion also.
Kramer makes the motion, do I have a second by Schumacher?
No,
Oh,
Vicky.
Hendrickson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 10 is Public Works Committee report.
Streets. There's one issue, actually, there's more than one, but property next door over here that, the remodeling job and one thing and another, he's requested before to put a culvert in on Third Street. And some new things have come to light there that, having access to that front door, with vehicles for unloading groceries, his wife is handicapped to an extent. So access to that front door is pretty difficult without a culvert in that ditch. And
Yep.
just crossing back and forth across it is causing erosion and problems, so, in view of that, I think the request needs to be made to put a culvert in that ditch.
Yeah, and we said to, last year, to draw up a plan where we were at, and
I don't remember what the cost of the whole thing was, but it seemed to me at that time that he chose not to do that because it was cost prohibitive, but that may not be the case at this point. I don't know what's involved in permitting that.
well, and it'd be right-of-way permit and access permit, and then there'll be a staff report by ACES looking at it, and then it'll come through P&Z, of course, and if there's anything Jones sees on the application portion of it when it's
The amount
submitted.
of drainage that goes through there is not going to be huge. And I believe that an 18 would probably be an overkill on that because it would be higher than what the existing road is, so it would be quite a...
Once you get your digging permit and all of that submitted, then that'll be determination from there. You have a question?
Yeah,
Henderson?
where is this located at?
Over here.
Right
Kitty
here,
corner.
single wide trailer.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't clear.
Okay,
So that was that part of it. I have not, I've been gone, as you well know. I don't know of any streetlights that we've got a problem with.
we talked about one that I think Chuck addressed, and they were waiting on that.
Yeah, and then another one that just quit the night of the meeting
Oh,
up over here.
Yeah, by Terry's.
okay. So on the water side, I have talked to the powers that be on trying to get our quarterlies changed. Our last 5 rad samples have been in compliance. So they're kind of expensive, like $600 per test.
Right.
So I haven't got a return call from them yet to see if they can do that annually
Yep,
rather than quarterly, which would save quite a bit of money.
yep, yep, we're waiting that.
I had just took the back T sample in yesterday, so that's for this month. Sewer, our parts are here. We just need to be able to either break the ice to get out to put the motor back on, or chance the ice is thick enough, get back out there and put that on. And,
Okay.
the other thing kind of falls under streets and this department. On those lots over there that are facing Manning Street, there's gonna be quite a bit of fill go in there. I have a digging permit, and the only thing I don't have is a beautification permit on that property. So those lots that are on the front there'll be some dirt put in there to raise those up and square them out. They are not in the floodplain, so the filling is not gonna be an issue.
That's something that's more of a P&Z issue. So something we might discuss there. We're still under your public works side, so.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, there's gonna be fill coming in there.
Well, and you might discuss that and make sure P&Z's aware of it and what the digging permitting involved.
Dumpster signs are done, I didn't have pickup enough to haul them out today. So as soon as we get in there with something big enough to pick them up, we'll bring them down and get them installed.
I had an enclosed trailer I pulled home, I could've threw them in, but I guess I didn't realize they were done, so. We'll get them.
I have to go in with my pickup later this week, so. Yeah.
Further,
I think that's it.
okay? And C, of course, is pending our work session. D, the municipal maintenance contract, we've signed that,
Signed and sent.
so that's taken care of, and then the
Did
only
you
thing.
sign that?
Yeah, so what we will do is, basically, it's going to be communication to them when it's time on what our detail is gonna be on the whole thing, so. But yeah, that's taken care of, and then E, the training classes are still going forward. And then, we have then the item, Fairgrounds Place water bill. I believe Mr. Ferguson, what'd you have on that?
Monica has the numbers there. I've been monitoring it. In fact, I checked it again today. One thing, there was quite a spike in the water usage, and it seems to be back to normal. There's no leaks detected, other than possibly a stool that was hung up or something to run that kind of water. Leaks don't normally fix themselves. So there's around $80 to $90 there on that extra charge on the water that was used. We're still monitoring it, and there's no leaks apparent underground or in the house. I mean, it went back to normal. There was some question of mathematical error maybe, but that has not been the case. The water went through the meter, so it obviously was on the homeowner side.
And Jill checked all the numbers, probably starting last year, and she didn't really find any errors in reading.
In some circumstances, you know, we would reimburse the sewer side of it. But in this case, he's not on city sewer, so that reimbursement will be going into his own private system.
And you checked the meter and the pit to the remote and everything matched up?
It's got the new style head on it, it's the touch tone. And the meter bit's dry, I mean, there's nothing there, so. It went through the meter where it went. After that is the question. It did go through the meter.
And that meter's been in all through all of these readings that Jill pulled up then of all of 22 and everything on the billing history then of 21. So she pulled up the 2 years then on it, showing the consistency in all of the readings, and that's all the same meter? Did you get a copy of this, Ryan?
Can you give me a copy?
Yeah, I got it.
Did you have questions on it, or?
Yeah, it seems when Chuck reads my meter that it's pretty damn normal. I mean, 420 gallons a day, or 530 gallons in 4 days. But yet I have the 2 days, twice that Linda read it, I got 14,590 and 2,350 gallons 3 days later, which calculates out to be 23,000 gallons in a month.
But the numbers are still correct?
Where's the water?
The numbers are,
Where's the water?
can you hang on just a second? Chuck, were my numbers wrong?
I don't know, you looked at them.
They don't look wrong, it just goes consistently up. But there
I
are
didn't see-
periods where it just jumps up.
I didn't see a mathematical error.
Right.
I mean, the water obviously went through the meter.
Usually if it's read wrong, then next month it's under or very low, but she did all the numbers and they're kind of consistent. There's never a really low number.
If nothing's wet in the crawl space and there's, no apparent, it's been through this many, many times, I mean, it's very likely, water softeners stick and run in the overflow, and the chain hangs up sometimes in the toilet backs and they leak, but somebody's got better hearing than I do, they usually can hear them, or they can see the water swirling in the stool, or I suggested that to do the dye test to make sure there wasn't, but like I said, water leaks don't fix themselves.
Ryan, you had another comment?
Yeah, I did everything that Chuck just mentioned. I don't have a water softener. I put a packet of red Kool-Aid in each toilet. It's not leaking. As soon as Jill called me, I walked out to the street and looked at the tattletale on the meter. It's not moving. I don't have a leak in my house. I went through my crawl space. I was in there 3 days before she contacted me to change the furnace filter. It's dry. All my connections are in there. I look at them every time I go there because I don't want a damn leak.
Right.
My toilets aren't running. My water's not leaking. Where's the water going?
No doubt, because what I guess baffles me is if the numbers are lining up, where you had the usage of the 14.9 and then you go up to where the previous reading was to where that happened, and then you come down through the next readings all the way through and consecutively, everything matches from what I'm seeing. So that's what, I don't get that part of it either, on why it lines up. You had a question?
No, just a thought. Could there be an intermittent malfunction with the meter that sometimes it's spinning more than it's supposed to?
It doesn't move unless the water goes through it.
But it's on a gear, right? And if the gear's slipping, no.
But then your numbers wouldn't match,
Right.
even if they were, if it was a
Yeah,
malfunction.
just a thought. I just know that sometimes internal mechanisms can slip, and so if something comes out of place, it could spin more than it's supposed to, and then it slips back into place and back to normal.
We got rid of those meters 45 years ago.
Okay, just a thought.
Well, the readings never go backwards, is my point. They continually go up. They don't ever go backwards. So,
How the hell did they go backwards?
well, it has happened, trust me.
I'd like to
No,
see
if
that.
it's read incorrectly, the next month you would notice
Right.
a negative or a very, very low usage. But what we see is
Well, you're still gonna
starting,
use water every day, so it's still gonna go up.
well,
There's a directional flow on the meters when the meter's installed,
Right.
and it's been a long
There is something that's not.
running discussion whether they can go backwards. The factory says they cannot. Most generally, when we've had a lower reading the next month, is that if it was estimated and maybe estimated too high, then when the actual reading came in, and that would pose that the meter was going backwards, and physically that cannot happen.
So your feelings are, Mr. Ferguson?
Well, I think it's a board decision. I believe that, and without a doubt, that the water went through the meter. And where it went is a $64 question. And actually it's an $80 question in this case.
Board's feelings?
Well, I think it should be monitored kept an eye on, but, deduct the amount that make it back to the original water price of, what is it, 90.99?
92.40 was my last month's bill.
Because something did happen here somewhere and we can't find it. Yet.
Right, but I'm not willing to accept that just because I was told that there's 14,000 gallons went through that and I can't find the leak. There's no, I don't have a leak. I have not a bit of water anywhere showing up.
I guess I would suggest that the amount that was used above and beyond what these normal usage would be reimbursed, and we will continue to monitor that, see if there's any other spikes in it in the future. It's no question in my mind the water went through the meter, or it wouldn't have said so. So where it went, I don't know, if they're watering the geese or the lawn or the stool was stuck or whatever happened, I don't know.
Pretty shitty time of year to be watering the yard.
Yes, it is. That holds about as good a theory as something else, you know. So,
I agree with you, Chuck.
I guess we've had a couple others that have had same circumstances and,
They had to pay the bill, didn't they?
right, every time.
the total water bill was what?
190.90.
And then normally is what?
Last one was 92.40. They're usually between 4,700 gallons, and this month they were 1,400.
In all reality, I mean, it's up to you guys what you wanna do, but the water went through the meter, so if there was a stool stuck at that time, I mean, I've seen instances where the flapper got something under it, or the chain would get hung up because it was too long, and, you know, there's things that can go on in the back of those toilets that are not found right away, but don't wanna shoot the messenger here, but all I know is it went through the meter.
You had a question, sir?
And being that we're on water bills, but good evening, board. Appreciate your job. Water meters. Since I've come into the conversation, I heard the term water meter 3 times. I heard frost line, I heard insulation piping. Twice now, that water meter in my residence has froze. Now, I've had the water department come out. And you know, I know they have a tough job, I know it's winter, I know it's under a house, I know all kind of excuses we can use. To have me told that, well, I had to go back down to the shop and cannibalize a parts for your water meter, and then, okay, it froze, and then you're gonna charge me $100 for a water meter? And okay, who is supposed to take care of the city's water meter? Whose responsibility is to come out and ensure that it's insulated, that it's well within the means of the frost line? Because it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, the poor gentleman had a doctor's appointment. He said, you're gonna have to A, B, C. Now, wait a minute. I don't have no clue what's going on this. So, you know, I don't mind paying $100. That's not the issue. But I've heard it 3 times now. On water issues, you got a problem, and it needs to be addressed. And it needs to be addressed professionally, because what we got, you know, he's got a problem. I got a $100 bill sitting in my hand. I don't know what the poor gentleman over here to my right's got, you know, but why? Okay, number 2, why are you buying stuff when it goes to negative? Why aren't we going to look for something that's well within the means of the environment? Because we're not. Because it'll freeze up in a minute, and you're gonna give me another $100 bill?
Well, and in the defense of that, just like any of my rentals or anything else, the homeowner has a responsibility to assure that that doesn't occur, of course. And if it does, due to lack of non-insulation or anything else in meter pits like me, I've had a couple of them do the same thing, and they're, 5 foot under the ground, and I've had to do the same thing, pay the fee for the
The
meters.
city cannot tell me, your water department can't tell me where your city line is that leads to my house. Yes or no? Yes or no? Do I have a yes? Do I have a no?
He can't hear very well.
He's
Oh,
talking to you,
okay.
Chuck.
They can't tell you. And then they're gonna come out and say, well, you're gonna have to rip up your driveway. I don't think so. I mean, I think we got some issues here that really need to be addressed. I said, I don't mind paying $100. But you can't be putting in nickel dime gear and then going back to the customer and say, hey, it's your fault.
Appreciate the comment on that, thank you. We'll go back to our issue that's on the agenda here. On the Fairgrounds Place Board, what would the board say?
I'm with Terry. Monitor it, deduct the 9240, deduct it down to the 9240, and continue to monitor.
So there's a motion,
Not yet.
is
Oh,
there a
I'll make
second?
it.
I'll second for discussion.
Okay. I guess I once again have, in our circumstances and stuff, we've had several precedences of the same nature, so it's a tough
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, we just
Of
paid
where it
10
is.
fortunes.
Well, and, yeah, that
That
was,
was- We knew where that was.
Yeah, we know
But
where that
with-
was.
Kenny's, he actually knew it was a leak,
Right.
where Ryan hasn't. So that's what makes it a difficulty too.
In my opinion, I do agree we need to monitor it. I don't, whatever, read the meter every week, whatever.
Before we make a decision to reduce it, is that what you're saying?
I believe that there should not be a refund. Because in other circumstances, we have not given refunds for this same exact thing. And, if we find out at the monitoring it, that it is an issue or a city issue, then we can, that money can just go for the next month's bill, that, or refund it at that time, however you wanna look at it. But at this point, I don't think we know enough to refund or make any real major decisions. I think we need to monitor it another month or two. That's my opinion.
Okay. Anything further? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Aye.
Aye.
So I would like to make a motion exactly what you just said, that we monitor it the next couple months. If we find a fault, then we go back and reimburse Ryan for it. And we know then at that point.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
Okay,
what motion? Oh,
He made a motion.
oh, that was your motion?
and will we make the overage part of it wait until that monitoring is over and pay his regular bill, or?
He shouldn't
So
be
then
assessed a late fee though.
Oh, I agree with that.
That's what
No
I-
late fees.
No late fees.
No late
Right.
fee, and the overage will wait on until we've done a review on the monitoring.
So pay the regular bill and hold the load, the
Correct.
overage,
Correct,
and no late fee?
Right.
correct. Okay, sound fair? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Yes, sir.
We have an ongoing problem with trailer houses. It just, if it's not in a pit, we've had the meters freeze in the pit. It's not always that we have 21, 22, 25 below zero. That usually brings out the worst in everything. I mean, we have had them freeze in the pits. We had one this last really, really cold spell that froze in the house. And, we fought it for 2 days, and it turned out that it was froze in the house. And I mean, a pellet stove running right over here. But the problem was there, the plumbing was against an outside wall. They insulated it all right. They insulated the heat away from the pipes. The insulation is on the wrong side. So when it got 20 below,
That's-
30 below, whatever, it froze.
Yeah,
Trailer houses are inevitable that when you get the worst conditions, that's when the problems happen. You know, they need to check their heat tapes, they need to check the insulation on a yearly basis, you know. I mean, who knows what a critter could have got under there and tore the insulation loose. I mean, when you have a mobile home, you have to continually monitor this every fall. And it isn't any different than your rentals or anything else. We've had the meters freeze and break in the pits. Vicky's pit froze and broke. We insulated it and solved the problem. We've had other instances where, you know, mobile homes is just, and if the meter is not in a pit and it's under the house, you just have to monitor that stuff. And it's not our responsibility to crawl under every trailer and make sure that the heat tape is working and they are insulated, so
And I know
it's responsibility.
we've had 5 of them that we've had problems with, and it's due to heat tape, it's due to, and it worked in the fall.
Yeah.
It worked as we looked every month, and then it's always in the 25 below when it isn't.
When it
So,
quits, yeah.
but that's still the homeowner responsibility. And then the other side of it, these newer meters, I think have been a lot more dependable and a lot more sturdy. So, you know, and with us, it's been years that forever, that the homeowner has been responsible for the meter, so.
The newer ones, we went to the brass, and they have a frost plate on the bottom of them that freezes and breaks intentionally, and you're supposed to be able to repair them, but 99% of the time, when they freeze hard enough to break that plate, it distorts that brass housing, and they leak. They just do not repair very good. So, it's imperative that, you know, in October, I mean, we could send out flyers to everybody that, you know, be sure and check the heat tapes and do your insulation and blah, blah, blah. Out of sight, out of mind. Once it's froze and broke, and it's just, no question, if they freeze and break in a meter, we're responsible for it because it is our meter tape. When they're under the houses, it's the homeowner's responsibility.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
That sounds real good. I mean, that sounds like somebody's trying to put on gloves to keep the doo-doo off his hands, okay? But when you come in and you put it in, and you don't insulate it, you can't come back to the homeowner and say, well, you gotta do it, because mine's laying on the dirt, okay? It wasn't insulated. I didn't put it in. I was told I couldn't touch it. They had to put it in. But what do? They just put it on the dirt. Oh, well, you know, you better put some heat tape on it. You know, come on. Let's be realistic. You know, that sounded real good, but that's not the way it's played.
I guess with me though, in our responsibility, we've got double wides, single wides. It's our baby. I've been around the game for my experiences for 50 years with it, and I know what I gotta do to do it. Maybe what might be good though is a little education when that new meter's put in from Public Works to say, you do need to do the heat tape, or you should do a little more of this, or give the homeowner a little bit more information in case they don't or aren't aware of it, so.
Maybe even a hard copy that states what needs to be done.
Could be.
But if you're putting them in, if the city is installing them, they should take the steps to ensure that their product is safeguarded. Not just come in, put it on the ground, hook it up, and walk out and leave. And, you know, come on.
And I guess there could be an option that, you know, Mr. Ferguson could contract out to do the heat tape, put it on if he wanted to as a contractor, not as the Public Works side, and then charge that homeowner for doing that to do that maintenance, because that's not our responsibility.
But when you install those things should be in part of the process of installing a piece of gear. Not just coming in and putting it under the house and see you guys later, I got a demo appointment. You know, no, that's, and then come back and then you say, well, we'll charge him for it. That's wrong. I mean,
Most of the time when I do install them under trailers, if they have existing heat tape and insulation, I put it back on so it's correct. On yours, you got lucky for quite a few years, there wasn't any.
yes, it was. It was in a styrofoam box, wrapped up in insulation, okay?
Who took the styrofoam box and stuff?
Well, that's a good question, okay?
I didn't.
Well, but when you came back in to reinstall a new one, you were there, I was there, okay, you know it, alright? And it's a good game, but you gotta play it right if we're gonna play.
Right, and I believe, but you were gonna go get the other heat tape and put it
And
on.
I did that,
And
Okay.
that's where I left it, because you were gonna finish it.
Yeah, again, you left it to the homeowner, I mean, hell, we'll charge them.
The
but,
heat
you know,
tape, the heat tape.
Now,
is
you
part
know,
of the
look,
homework.
I work at a camping ground that they had on a, when they break, I don't go to the person who's renting the site and say, guess what, you got to pay your roof ahead. That's up to the campground.
Okay, we're gonna move ahead here now on to our agenda. We appreciate it. We do have such a thing as known as an informational permit up here. If you have concerns of that nature, please come fill one out, and then we can put it as an agenda item on here. And then we do have our items from citizens also that we can do at a 3-minute, but we're gonna try to get through here. I have a couple items I'd like to remove: the Pace Municipal Maintenance Contract off of the Public Works side of it. And then I want to leave the Fairgrounds Place water monitoring for the Simpsons on as an agenda item for the remainder of the period. So a motion to remove the Pace item D. Hendrickson makes that. Do I have a second?
Sure.
By Kramer. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You have one more question?
A comment, Joan, with the newsletter, if you could maybe put in there a couple times during the winter or in the fall to, for people to, maybe before winter hits, to check their heat tapes and their regulate, you know, everything.
Good idea, yes.
A couple times a year, maybe even, in the fall and in the early winter or midwinter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, on the water bill too.
Item 11 is Finance Officer. Item A is your monthly financials.
Monthly financials, bank reconciliation is included in the packet.
I like how
That's-
your percent expended that you come out with.
Yeah, so that's probably what you were asking
Yeah.
Yes.
for, so I
Nice job.
found the settings for that, so that's what I can do each month. So
Yeah.
you see what was expended as of that meeting or that month.
I like the reconciliation too and how it's listed. And the ones, it's just a good detail, a much clearer detail than what we had before with Banyan. The G-Works is, I think, a better system, and you're
It
enjoying it.
also makes it very easy to reconcile the credit card payments with the front desk. It just sets all the numbers and it's exactly as it went to the bank. And the system reconciles that amount with what was received through front desk. So,
Awesome.
there's also the revenue report, how much is received as of March 7th. Balance sheet. Department updates, checks said already, the sign is done and ready for pickup. There's Custer County Commissioners meeting tomorrow, 8 a.m.
Are you gonna be able to do that or not?
Hopefully, yes.
It'll just depend on the weather
Mhm.
with me. You know, I wanna be there. If not, I will call Lynn's. See where we're at.
We're on the latter part of the agenda, so. But
Okay.
yeah,
District 9 annual meeting. I booked for 11 attendees. I just need to confirm with Vicki if she can attend the meeting March 29th, 6 p.m. in Hot Springs.
Can I let you know tomorrow?
Sure. Anytime before the 15th, that's when I can still get a refund. So if anyone knows that they need to cancel, just let me know. Equalization meeting is going to be on March 20th. I did contact school, and because we need one of the school board members to
Yes.
attend, and Mark Noggle said that he'll make sure one of them will attend
At 6?
at 6 p.m.
okay.
I also met with Leah, Custer County Director of Equalization today. She walked me through the steps, how everything works and what I
good.
need to do. So that was kind of a relief because I've never done it before. So
And it will only be if they have any objections.
we have
any of it.
already, so we'll
Oh, really?
definitely, yeah,
I think
it's
they
with the
need-
taxes going up, people are more aware of it.
The thing they need to all realize that was brought up at the last commissioners meeting, or I guess it was several meetings ago, we need that law that has went into effect that says we may object, but with state law, you have no means to object because they have brought it to where everybody is trying to accomplish that 85% of their real estate value. So with that being said, there are no objections being allowed because of state law.
It's only if it's not evaluated correctly or something like that. But yeah, you can't really argue the taxes. Elections. I'm getting ready. I'm trying to learn as much as I can what else and what I need to do. Making sure I have all the supplies and talking to the school since it's going to be a joint elections. Yeah. For elections, I also attached the ordinance that's going to be on for the elections. So the board needs to review, and I don't know if we need a motion to put it on a ballot.
No,
No,
not as
just a
long as
review.
they've got the signatures and the
Yep, we don't
petition
have-
will be allowed.
Yes, they brought in all the signed and notarized, so,
Yep, as long as everybody's verified,
yes, I did
That-
that already too, they
good.
were all good. So.
good, yep, and then all the other petitions will be the same way, so. And they've done well, I appreciate how far you've come on getting educated on all of that. It's throwing you into the fire, but you've done well by extinguishing it.
Trying. I think that's all on my side.
I appreciate how far you've come and what you've detailed and how hard you girls are working.
Thank you.
You've done well.
Town of Hermosa newsletter, so you'll have annual report. Jonas has it ready, so.
Excellent.
There's been some questions. I haven't actually had a formal request yet, but this is the time of year you do it, so. Do you want to follow along with while I look it over? I'm sorry, you two are gonna have to share. My printer's on its last leg.
I can make copies if you
No,
want.
it's fine.
But you probably need to see one. You two share and I'll
Yeah.
share with
All right.
Dan. That way.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go through it quickly while you look it over, just because we do have a lot of people here that may
Thank
have a
you.
question also or not know. So the mission statement of our newsletter is that Hermosa Newsletter's mission is to engage our community on current and future events, to strengthen our community, creating a more rewarding living experience. This is just a note on page 4 from me. The opinions of this newsletter strive to align with the town's agenda, and though the board provides their support, their approval of content is not required. Publishing decisions remain the sole discretion of the editor. Although the town of Hermosa is our partner in the newsletter, we have several other partners. All the churches, local nonprofits, local clubs, American Legion, and of course our local businesses, a huge part of ours, and contributors, people who just send in stories or write articles. So those also are all our partners. The Hermosa newsletter provides a contact point to connect people with what is happening in our community, social events, information, and services. We provide information concerning community businesses by accepting their advertising and promoting shop local campaigns, not only in our newsletter, but online when and if I have time. I have never promised anyone I would have it online, but I do that when I have time. This newsletter is 100% volunteer, except for minimal office expenses, the advertising dollars, and we also receive donations occasionally, all go towards community projects. Our plan is to develop new projects or participate in established ones that are relevant to the goals of our organization and our community. The newsletter is available in print and also through email. And once again, as I said, highlights I do try to put on Facebook. The Hermosa newsletter is part of our community, is published monthly. We try to keep the content current and relevant, giving you something of value and variety, although we are always open for suggestions, such as Linda tonight. That was a great one. The newsletter was started in 2019 by Joy Moore and I. It was basically a one-page calendar, keeping track of who was doing what that month, what each organization was doing, because we were finding that there were so many small organizations in Hermosa that we were often booking same dates or dates one after another, which was too close for a small community. Within a couple of years, it grew. All those same organizations were asking, rather than just, not only had they asked for the calendar, but they were asking, rather than just a calendar, could we put their flyer, attach it to it? Could we tell them what's going on other than just a label? So that's what we tried to do, and has just continually grown since then. Joy passed away in 2020, and I considered at that time not doing the newsletter any longer. She was the one who made the phone calls to the churches and different organizations, getting a lot of the information. Well, the time has just never seemed right, I guess, and now with email, I get most of it through email, so there's not a lot of phoning that I have to do. We have found we have to max out at 48 pages, which is 24 pieces of paper, because that's all the copier will correctly do without breaking something. We print approximately 250 copies. We have 125 email lists. And I won't read these, but on the bottom of the page, I just put them there because it made me feel good. A lot of people like it. Of course,
I like that.
there are some that don't, some that are easily irritated. I might forget a birthday or put a date in wrong, and I do hear about it. That's okay.
There's always quite a few people come to the office and ask for copies, and sometimes we run out, so Jill runs more.
So for the year of 2022, at the end of the month of December 31, our total income through donations and advertising was $3,800. Our total expenses were $3,556. As I said, there are always going to be some supplies needed or administrative costs. Even though I'm doing it as a volunteer, I cannot afford myself to pay for the software. So we have books, reference books, our software, which was a cost of $280 for the year. Other supplies, which added up, were about $600 for the year. We spent over $1,000 on our walk to school event. We spent over $600 on our education, which is presently the Earn a Bike program. Donations, generally the donations will be we try to support the food bank. Before that, in the early years, we supported the senior center. Now that they have their, I don't know what, they were left some annuity or something that helps pay. So now we try to focus our donations on the food bank itself. The one thing that Monica and I did go over was the budget. You budgeted in 2022 $8,300 for the cost of the newsletter. When we went through that we maybe spent half of that, a little over half. That was, there's no way that anyone spends a lot of time. I mean, it's a setting on the copier. You walk away, does 50 or how many copies you send it to. That's a matter usually of maybe the first time around it's longer, an hour maybe, I doubt it's that. But then each time it's just a matter of minutes to push the code in and to print them. So you fill the paper and that. So
I think this was the first year we actually put it in the budget for 2023. That was the numbers for this
and
year.
that's,
but I'm sure we can adjust it for next year for the budget.
And the other thing, it's hard to say exactly what things costing because just any overage over the contracted amount of copies is attributed to the newsletter. But it isn't necessarily, well, let's see, how many pages did the newsletter use? How many pages do we go over? I mean, it just, it isn't that fine line. So anyway, that's just a quick overview, and if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your hard work as always. As much as you put together and as hard as you put this together, and I
guess the other thing I did not mention was the fact that it's not only that we donate our time to this, but also, it's all my own equipment. My computer, my printer, my scanner, which I have two because there's different needs, for different things you do. So, even though there are a few expenses, they are minor compared to what it could be.
Well, and all your volunteer hours that you spend on this are phenomenal, and it needs to be remembered, when Black Hills Recovery was started after the flood, is when you really started to kick in, and we always appreciated that, and that's when the walk to school, safe routes, all of that came to light, and I guess if we went back through the years of how many bikes were given away over all of this period, and
Oh my goodness, I have no idea.
the walk to school and how much all of that's gathered and everything that's put together is a very good program. Once again, I can't thank you enough.
Joan, I think that so many people have a hard time understanding that what you're doing, that you are volunteering your time, that you are not being paid for that. And in the beginning, like you said, it was a very minimal amount of money, or amount of time, because it was one page, and you've continued to allow it to grow the way the community has asked for. And the fact that you are still doing it on a volunteer basis is quite commendable as far as I'm concerned. I think our community is very lucky that you were there to put the time in to do that, and I would like to thank you personally.
There's one thing that I would like to mention, is that we did just receive last month a $600 donation for our education fund. So that's how it's possible to keep doing it every year. I mean, that was just a surprise, total surprise, and a wonderful one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we thank you for that, and all your work you do for, like I say, Black Hills Recovery, Neighborhood Watch, I mean, P&Z. Thank you. Anything further, Monica?
That's all.
All right, we'll have where everything else will stay on except for F.
I should ask first, I'm sorry. Anybody else?
Thank you.
So you want a removal of F?
Please.
I'll make that motion.
Kramer makes the motion.
Victor
Thank you.
seconds it.
No.
Anybody else?
We can probably take the District 9 meeting too.
Pardon?
Well, leave it till next time.
What's that?
District 9.
Right, because that way we've got a final on everything. That's okay. Second by Schumach then, was it?
It was Vicky.
Or
Vicky.
Vicky, sorry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item A, did we gain anything?
No.
Okay, any future
Oh,
plans?
what did the decision, P and Z discussed it at their last meeting? Did I not read that in the minutes?
About,
The annexation discussion on how to handle that, what we thought was the best idea.
We simply discussed having a meeting would be more time effective than trying to go door to door.
Okay,
or we accept no response as a no and move ahead.
Yeah, that also was mentioned.
If there was gonna be positive, that would have happened. So, then our next thought was then for those that do wanna be annexed, that we would look at addressing where we are in circumstances in loan grant money where they wanted water or wanted sewer, that we would be able to offer that entity to them still, for those that want to be, that can be.
well then I think that either another letter needs to go out, maybe not a registered letter, but a letter needs to go out just to inform them and to ask them, for those that want to volunteer to annex, to,
Well, we know which ones already in their
Already,
last,
yeah.
yep.
okay. Well,
So there's no sense in even spending another letter. We have, I think, 6 or 7 that we're wanting to be.
Yeah,
So-
we have to double check. I mean,
You only had 10 total. Isn't there only 10 total down there?
No, this is on 79 as well as over here. So anything that's contiguous, if they want to voluntarily annex, they can. So we'll compile that list, I think, is what we'll do, move ahead, that way we can get back to Black Hills Council and look at what our funding is for D8 and R and get that situation going, so. So I think that'll be our next move on that then. P&Z will then probably have that back on their agenda for that, and then we'll review and then put that list together, send letters to them, do the discussion on what we can do for water sewer in the funding package that we have, offer that, and then down the road, then the others will be on their own. Yes, ma'am.
Might want to mention also that after our next P and Z meeting, there will be a work session for those that are able to attend.
Thank you.
On the 21st?
Whatever
No,
day it is.
14th.
20, oh, what day is it? Okay, the 14th, thank you.
Okay. Town sign is what, yes,
For the town sign, I think to move forward with that, we need to kind of make a decision if we want to do with the business advertising or just do just the Hermosa word on a hill.
and welcome to Hermosa is what we
Yep.
talked about.
Yeah,
So I think
Let's
what
do
we'll
that.
do is we'll look at doing some designing of that.
well, we have some designs from before what you did for the businesses, but then we need to call them again and ask to give us a quotes for the actual welcome sign, what it would be on a hill.
And I think our big thing is gonna be going out and measuring, seeing how big we wanna do a containment of what we had said, and then look from there on how big of the sign is gonna be also.
Did we get information from the state of exactly how low we can put it or where we can put it? From
We'll
Rich
have to
Locker?
apply, once we
Yeah.
measure
We have to apply.
how big an area, what we're gonna do.
Are you now looking at just a sign that says welcome to Hermosa versus several signs?
Right.
And is it still plywood or?
I think we're
Metal?
open to anything, I think.
Well, I know Vicky had
Let's go
several
metal.
suggestions last time on ones that other towns, have,
Right,
like the, I don't know if it's actually a rock or concrete or what, but there's some beautiful ones out there. I don't have any idea what the cost is, but
We
they
should
catch your eye.
Well, that's why we kind of just need to, if you want me to call around and ask to come and
Could
give us
actually
some
take some
quotes
pictures when you
and
see one.
designs.
yeah, see what some
Because I
examples
looked
are.
online for quite a few places, there's some really nice designs
Yeah.
out there. But we just need to decide.
I think that'd be great for a work session.
Yes.
I can't decide until I see pictures.
When you see one you like,
To
take a picture,
decide to
everybody.
get
Right.
quotes.
There's
So,
some really
yeah.
nice, made out of iron too.
Yes. We should make it look like those old,
Yeah, I have all
old
kinds of
ones.
pictures of different ones, rocks and live edge wood and iron and block and whatever. I mean, use your imagination, you can come up with something.
So let's start doing some digging.
Iron, make it look gothic. and-
So I can call around and ask for quotes.
Well, and I think what we need to do is find a style that we like in the work session first, and then measure the area over here that we want, get a size, diameter of where we would want to apply
You
it.
still have those
Then we
pictures?
can get a quote on whether it's gonna be 4x8 or,
You still have those pictures?
I don't know, I can probably find them if I look real
You
hard.
do, I
If you would
Might.
look
I don't
at,
know.
look at iron ones, my grandson-in-law has, I don't know technically what you cut it, but it's bigger than a pool table, probably bigger than a billiards table.
Oh.
And he can cut the thick,
Plasma cutter.
yeah, something like that. He can cut the really thick stuff, so. And I'm fairly sure I could talk him into doing it for nothing other than us paying for all the materials and all that.
Those
So
are
if
beautiful signs.
If we could find an iron one that we liked and a
yeah,
design.
visually, look at all the styles. What's
Okay.
gonna be able to be seen
So I'll
from
just
the
get some
highway.
pictures for next meeting and, or work session.
Yep. So whatever we can find for photographs, excellent.
Okay,
Other communities, what other communities offer,
yeah.
so. Good. B and C, C and D are pending. Hermosa Connects,
Meeting is March 14th at 8:30 at the coffee house. Everybody's invited.
8:30? Okay.
And if it's something, I don't know if Monica wants to continue to be able to go,
Sure you do.
depends on your schedule.
Yeah.
I
I'll
know
try.
Vicky goes, so.
Okay.
We're appreciative that Rick was here last time and gave us a
He
good
said he
report.
would be here every other meeting, because they only have one meeting a month.
Correct, I remember that.
Yep. 13 is new business, PFAS cost recovery
I
program.
finally got a hold of them. They were just missing one piece from the contracts that you need to sign, so we'll sign that tonight and I can send it out tomorrow and then it'll be all done.
Good,
Awesome.
I like that. That'll be good to see that one go away.
It's PFAS.
Traffic control device,
It's a cost recovery program
What's the
for the
initial stamp
utility.
on?
Oh my goodness, thank you. Lynn.
Yeah.
No, I know, I have it here. It's a
pardon?
long word. Um,
You've been going over it so long with Mitch
I
that
know, I can't remember. It doesn't say, it all says program.
Any idea what it stands for?
I knew, but it's the
With
wrong
the
word I
application.
forgot.
That?
Alright, never mind.
no, it was something Keystone was looking at opting into too. And it's been 6 months since we had it.
Yeah, we finally got back to me. I can find now, I can email you or.
B is a traffic control device.
It's
Oh, I
right
got
there.
Polyfluoroalkyl substances.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what it was.
that's why I couldn't remember, it's very,
So chemical contamination.
yes.
Right, exactly.
So it protects the town from, if any lawsuits come in, it's just gonna help the town to avoid any expenses. Or some.
Yeah, that raises a question. The trains that come through here, do they carry anything dangerous?
Pardon?
Just curious if we know if the trains that come through town, if any of them carry anything dangerous.
I don't know.
Or all just like agriculture.
And they won't tell us either, I'll guarantee you. What they wanna do, they do.
It'll be even more hush hush.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially now, yeah.
Mhm.
Item B on your grant application.
Traffic devices are here already.
Woo-hoo.
The grant application is received. We'll get the answers, I think, within a month or so. We just need to contact the school to see where they want the sign, and then contact the DOT and see when they could come and install it.
So,
That's it.
did we get anything back on the bridge inspection?
Yes, so on the bridge, I contacted Banner Engineering and KLG. Banner, they have an office in Rapid City, but they don't have the engineer here. So then they recommended the Bros Engineering in Sturgis.
Who was that?
Bros Engineering, BROSZ Engineering, and they're in Sturgis, and they would be available. We could put them as the bridge engineer, or KLJ. They're in Rapid, so they could be good for that
Did
as
they give
well.
us
Cost.
quotes?
So they were didn't really say exact prices. They said it goes all the way from $2,000 to $3,000
For just a box
2,000?
culvert?
for the inspections. Yeah, that's what they said.
For a box culvert?
Were they aware of that's what they would be doing, I wonder?
They just know the deal with the DOT and that's some grants, so I don't know exactly if they know what they need to be done, but. I mean, when I called, they knew what I was talking about and what I mean by signing the agreement on that.
We'll have to do a little bit more.
Oh, we kinda, well, DOT contacted me and they needed kinda soon, so we kinda need to choose between the KLG or Bros Engineering.
Well, I would, make a motion that you contact them again and make sure each company knows it's a box culvert and
Right.
see if that changes the price at all. And that we just then go with the least expensive of the two, the quote that's the least.
Because I think that's huge with the box
Yeah.
culvert.
It's totally different than a real bridge, so, I
Well,
just,
the price would be accordingly though, I mean.
yes,
wouldn't-
but I would like to know who,
Did they send a cost sheet with them at all? A
No.
spreadsheet?
No, they kinda just said that they work with DOT on the prices and everything, so. they don't-
Between Bros or KLJ then?
yeah, I would just
Yeah.
contact the two, make a quick phone call or email tomorrow and
Then if you could tell me exactly what I need to ask for.
If you want them to even contact me, I can tell them, since I walked through the project from start to finish.
you wanna make the phone call then?
Yeah, if you give me numbers, I don't have a problem calling them too, save you that headache.
And you made a motion?
And then whichever one is
Next
the
meeting.
cheap, oh, you don't want a motion now?
No,
Okay, I withdraw my.
because we'll get a quote further when they're saying 2 to 3 grand, and they're both about the same, right?
Oh, that's what they said. And they work on the prices with DOT, so I don't know if they're gonna give us exact price, but we'll see.
And I think the Bros or KLJ, Bros being in Sturgis, KLJ's out of Rapid.
Should be cheaper.
And that's
Mileage?
80% of that price is gonna be grants, because,
Yeah, but
So it may be good just to do a motion that we accept KLJ at this portion of it.
I wouldn't, I mean,
Just find the,
Okay,
money's money, we don't know.
okay, so I'll call them on. Annual verification of the South Dakota DOT street layer data. And we sent that back already,
yes, it's sent,
so that's done.
yes.
Good. Boundary updates, the Census Bureau.
I did contact Aces, she didn't get back to me yet,
Okay,
but it doesn't need to be done until May 1st, so it's not a rush, she has a lot going on probably.
Okay,
and we made a motion to allow the letter to be sent to the school board, so we're good to go on that part.
so motion to remove
A, D, and F.
A, D, and F. I'll make that motion.
Kramer makes it, second.
second?
By Schumach, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 14 is items from citizens. Do we have anything from there? Yes, ma'am.
I was just wondering if Monica could kind of go over how the election process works. If it's with the school
Yes,
and
we do everything separately all the way until we have the same day citizens will vote at the church. They receive their own petitions, we receive our own petitions.
they vote there, we vote there.
No, we
No,
vote
everybody
all
votes
at the
at the
church.
school there.
That's why it's combined, so it's the same day, the same location, but we have, well, the expenses are kind of in half them, half us, depends on what each of us will spend. So,
There'll be two different like ballots to fill out. One,
For the
generally
town?
speaking, it is. one for your school board, and then one for your town issues. So,
Because normally I just vote and then I leave and go home, so I don't, what goes on after that happens?
It's gonna be just two ballots, and I also read that there'll be different colors. Let's say ours will be white, theirs will be yellow. So it's just to separate them, but it's gonna be at the same time, all the voting, at the same location.
so voting is done at 7 o'clock, and the school board will have their own people counting their own ballots, and I'm guessing that we will be counting our own ballots.
Yes.
The
gals.
the
down
gals that
Are they on the election board, yeah?
are on the election board,
Okay, anything else? Trustee input, Hendrickson.
I'll leave it for now.
Schumacher.
Very informational.
Kramer.
There's no executive session tonight?
No, not without Mitch here.
Just good meeting, lots of information, and, Vicki, I realize when, we're sick that we can't make meetings. There's not a problem with that in my mind. But as far as you wanting information about those meetings,
I think we covered that.
you could call me.
Yeah, I could.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do you
I
want to
wanna
stay here?
thank everybody tonight for a good meeting, all your decision making and all
Stay
the
here.
goals we're gonna have coming at us soon. So I appreciate that.
I should stay here.
Other than that, 8:16, motion to adjourn.
I'll make that.
I'll second it.
Hendrickson makes the
Yeah,
motion,
Bethany
second by
stays
Kramer, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.